Should we start?
Yes, ma'am, we can start it out.
Okay,
We
so
don't.
yesterday, yeah, tell
We
me, sir.
can start anytime because people are busy because these are working
No,
days. So,
yeah,
so we
yeah.
can start
No,
five
after
maximum.
taking our classes, so like it's a general norm that we wait our students for 5 minutes, we give them to come late.
Yeah,
After
yeah,
five
yeah.
minutes,
This is a culture which we have
yeah,
developed on our own.
yes, yes. Because at 5 o'clock, if we close the door, nobody likes it.
Hmm. Everybody, because
Because
Indian
they think that
ISC.
it is their birthright to get 5 minutes extra at least to come late in class. I'm talking about my students, not here, but
Hmm,
for my students, it is like that. Like 5 minutes, if you don't get, they will fight. Like it is their birthright to get extra 5 minutes. So if you
you are
don't
right.
give that, then they feel offended.
Correct. एक बार one of my PhD participant told me she wanted to go from Mathura to Delhi.
Yeah,
She went late by 5 minutes, by 2 minutes. She was cursing कि why the train came on time.
yeah.
So कहता थोड़ी बहुत तो लेट होनी चाहिए ना.
Hmm.
So that is a
Okay,
tendency.
so yesterday we have finished till three-way ANOVA, correct? So now I'll ask some of you
Yes,
that
ma'am.
how much you remember from yesterday. Tell me quickly. So when did we conduct independent t-test?
It is for
When
comparison
there
between
is
two
a
groups.
categorical variable and a scale variable,
No, what is the purpose of conducting this thing? Independent t-test.
comparing the means.
To find out mean difference of two groups. There are two
Okay.
levels.
Mm-hmm.
So at
Comparison of
that point
two
of
groups. Two, for
Comparison
example,
of two groups. See,
comparison of
once you know
mean.
the purpose of
Yeah.
taking any test, after that it's not difficult. Because what happens that we only know the name and we also know because if you open YouTube, anybody will tell you how to click those buttons and conduct the test. That's not a big deal.
Yes.
Even if you forget here how to conduct the test in SPSS, not a big thing. Okay, anytime you open YouTube and then they present 2 minutes, they will tell you what buttons you need to press and then get it done. Important thing is on all these tests, what we are learning from yesterday is what is the purpose. We have a whole catalog now. Okay, independent t-test, pair t-test, one way, two way, three way, one, all that. But when to use what? So that crystal clarity has to be there. So independent t-test in which situation we need to use?
For comparison of two groups which are independent of each other. For example, ladies and gents
Yeah,
going
and
through
the
some phenomenon.
restriction, yeah, and the restriction is that the categorical variable which you are taking only can have two categories.
Correct, correct. Only two categories.
Okay? Yeah, so that is the major thing which you need to understand.
Yes.
So, and then comes your pair t-test. In which situation we use pair t-test?
For example, in case of before and after studies,
Yeah. So if you are conducting
to
any
compare the performance
experiment, and
level.
yesterday we have taken the example of carbohydrated protein drink. So
Before and
consume,
after analysis
Yeah.
yeah,
situation.
okay,
Yeah.
of the same
So
participant.
it is also comparison between the two situations
Yes,
of the
but
same group of
yes,
participants.
the
And
restriction is that,
comparison.
yeah, you need to have same participants.
Yes.
Okay, so that is how your pair test works. And then comes one way ANOVA. What happens there?
When the number of variables goes beyond two,
Yeah.
and it
More
is only one dimensional data. For example, whether it is zones of marketing,
Correct.
for example, salesmen are
more than two
sitting
categories.
in
Okay. What
zone
is the
1, zone 2,
nature?
zone 3.
Okay. Okay. What is the nature of data we use in pair t-test? Categorical or scale variable? When you are using pair
Scale,
t-test,
scale.
you need to have a categorical or you need to have a pair
We
scale
can use
variable.
both. We can also perform pair sample t-test when we have two scale variable or we have two ordinal variable.
Okay. Can you have one ordinal and one scale?
No,
No, no,
ma'am,
no,
we
no,
cannot.
no.
So you understood?
Yes,
Okay.
Same,
yes.
same,
Pairs.
same type of data has to be there.
Yes, yes, yes.
Whether
Why we are
audible or not,
discussing
right?
it? Because what happens that sometimes when your entire data collection is done, after that time, guide will come and tell you, beta, conduct the this thing, the test, okay, and then your data is not ready. So what will you do in that situation? Getting it? So when you're framing your question, by that time only you need to have the crystal clarity that what is your objective and how you are going to achieve it. So what kind of analysis is required. So accordingly, you need to frame your questionnaire. Clear it is. So then
Yes,
comes
ma'am.
one way, two way, three way ANOVA. So what happens there? What is the common thing and what is the different thing?
In one way, there are more than two levels. As we have seen in independent sample t-test, we had only two levels
Yeah,
in the
correct.
categorical
Two
variable.
category, two category
In
or two groups.
Yeah, yeah, correct. In two-way ANOVA, we have two independent variable and one dependent continuous variable. And in
Yeah,
three-way ANOVA, we have three independent variables and one dependent variable.
correct, correct. So now the purpose is clear, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now next thing comes that is the mixed ANOVA. Okay, mixed
Hello.
ANOVA, ANOVA. Yeah,
Hello, ma'am.
yeah. Tell me.
Ma'am, do you know about randomized control trials, RCT
No,
problems?
no.
Actually, it's a kind of experiment where a group of people given a experiment or give experiment, and some people are under observation.
Mm-hmm. You are
Uh,
talking about which kind of study?
it is behavioral economics, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
So we divide two groups. One is given treatment, and one
Hmm.
group is control, which is not given treatment. So
Okay.
my question is, in this kind of RCT, randomized control trial problems, we should always use pair t-test.
Better because no other
Huh.
test will give you that accuracy.
Exactly, pair t-test says na before analysis,
Yes,
post analysis
yes.
results, what would happen? So okay, okay, thank you, ma'am.
So, see, whatever tests we are covering in this FDP are mostly relevant for marketing and HR studies. Okay.
Madam, can you
Yeah.
please explain once more for this independent variables and dependent variables in ANOVA? For example, in case of one way ANOVA,
Huh.
there are more than two categorical variables, we can say,
Okay.
and one dependent variable. You mean to say that?
Yes.
And in case of two-way ANOVA, two dependent variables should be metric and
Independent are two. One, two, three. Independent. Dependent always remains one.
okay. So in case of two-way ANOVA, there will be two dependent variables and more than two independent variables. Am I
Yes.
correct?
Yes. Yes.
And in case of multi ANOVA, there will be more than two
Yeah.
dependent variables and more than two independent
Yes.
variables.
Yes. So
Understood.
it is like that. Each test will overcome previous limitations.
Okay. Understood.
Okay. Like that it goes.
And we have to
So one.
go for interaction effect only.
Yeah. See, what you need to do only is that you need to just understand the requirement.
Okay.
Accordingly, just push the test. Otherwise, process remains same, requirement remains same, interpretation also remains same.
ओके मैम थोड़ा 11th टेस्ट का मेरे को थोड़ा कंफ्यूजन है तो
हाँ.
अभी हम सपोज इन एसपीएसएस व्हेन वी गेट द डेटा आउटपुट सो व्हाट शुड वी लुक आउट फॉर 11th टेस्ट but which kind of value we should look for
Okay, you
less
are
than
looking for reference values, huh?
suppose in 11th test it was 0.120 in yesterday's question. So what should we look for? Should it be more than a significance level or should it be
Yes.
less than
Yes.
okay
More than 0.05.
for to confirm that the data is normal?
Yes.
Okay. And if it comes down below significance level, then what should we do?
Then your test will not support your result.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, so 11th test is basically to confirm the normality of the data.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Understood. Thank you.
Okay, so now we start with the mixed ANOVA. Okay, so mixed ANOVA is your MANOVA only. Okay, so what to do with this type of data? What you have here? So basically, you are having more than one scale variable here, and only one nominal or ordinal variable here. Okay, so this is the requirement of data. If you see here, okay, here you have group, and there you have scale variable. So how it goes? So what kind of experiment you can do here? So you have a researcher was interested in discovering whether the intensity of an exercise training program, but with equal calorific expenditure, had an effect on cholesterol concentration over a 6-month period. To answer this, they implemented three different interventions. In one intervention, participants did not change their current sedentary lifestyle. This was the control intervention. In another group, participants underwent a low-intensity exercise training program that expended 1,000 kilocalorie per week. A final group underwent a high-intensity exercise training program that also expended 1,000 kilocalorie per week, but therefore exercised for less total time. The participants in each intervention were different, and all interventions lasted 6 months. Pre for pre-intervention, mid for midway, and post for post-intervention. So this is how the experiment has been conducted. So this is the group, okay, how they have referred them, and count of pre, count of mid, and count of post. That is their cholesterol levels. Okay. So this is how the participants that they have divided. So the researcher wishes to know if there is an interaction between group and time on cholesterol. This is clear to everybody? So far it is clear. We are trying to understand the situation here. So this is the nature of all the four variables which has been given to us. These three are scale variables, and this one is categorical, where we have three categories.
So it is multi ANOVA, ma'am.
Yeah, we call this mixed ANOVA, not multi.
Acha. So after two ANOVA, what, madam? There is a word also, Mancova.
We will do that also. We are doing MANOVA.
Manova.
We have
Okay.
done. Okay, this is MANOVA.
Okay. So mixed ANOVA and MANOVA, they are different.
They are same.
They are same. Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Okay.
so
Manova.
here, what is the requirement? We should have one independent variables, or how many independent variables? And what will be our hypothesis in this case?
Yeah, we'll see everything here. Okay.
Okay.
So right now we need to understand the situation, that in which situation we are conducting the test.
Okay.
So the mixed ANOVA is often used to determine if there is an interaction between two factors, group and time, and okay, on a dependent variable. So this is one, and this is the second scenario, okay, where we have taken the timing. So what do we need? So two factors. So we have two factors here. So this timing is one factor, and group is one factor. So we have basically one dependent variable, that is continuous. So this pre, mid, post, this is one dependent variable, which is having three different timings. Are we getting it?
So we will consider it only one dependent variable.
Yeah. See what happens if you need to understand the difference. Just for a moment, forget about the mid column and post column. Only see group and pre.
Okay,
If you
ma'am.
see group and tree, how it looks, what kind of test you run on this kind of data? Tell me.
ANOVA simple.
Yeah, understood.
Mhm.
Now, what we are doing is the same variable we are
Hmm.
capturing at different timings.
Right.
So our number of variables remains same. We still have two variables only. Getting it?
Okay, okay,
We still have two variables only.
okay.
But the dependent variable we have captured
Mhm.
at different timings.
Timings.
But we
Okay.
still have only two variables here. Okay. What we
Mhm.
need here is one continuous variable, which is one dependent variable, that is continuous. Correct?
Mhm.
Again, the requirement
Okay.
remains same. No out.
So group, group
Yeah,
is one variable
that
and
is an
timing is another
independent one.
variable.
Like you are
Mhm.
having gender, no? Or you are having occupation or
Right, right.
age, like that.
Mhm. Okay.
So this is control, this is intervention 1, this is intervention 2. This is how I am categorizing these three groups.
Okay.
Again, the requirement remains same. No outliers, approximately normally distributed, homogeneity of variances or covariances. What Leibniz test you are talking about, that is the measurement of this
Huh.
homogeneity of variances.
Right. Homogeneity of variances.
For this
Right.
thing, we need our Wilk-Shapiro test values. Getting
Mhm.
it? So this is the
Lemons test talks about covariances also.
homogeneity of variances and covariances. Yeah.
Both. Okay.
So then we go for mixed ANOVA. How do we conduct a test? The data sheet I'll give you. Same data sheet we have. So what we need here is dependent. So we have three. All three we have taken here. Factor list test group, and then dependence together. Normality plot with test. Okay. So first we are checking the normality. So again we go to explore like yesterday. Okay, explore only we do dependent and factor, and then we need box plot. We need normality plot with test because we need to check the normality. Okay, and then we click continue. So we get the test of normality. So here if you see, all the values are above 0.05, which means that data is normally distributed.
Okay. Hmm. Shapiro will test.
Clear? It is the same step which we are doing in all the tests. Same step. Only number of variables increases or decreases. Other than that, everything remains same. Okay. Then comes cholesterol concentration was normally distributed for all interventions at all time points. As assessed, p-value is more than 0.05. Clear? And then our outliers. So we do not have any outliers in the data. Okay. So then how do you run the actual test of mixed ANOVA? You go to generate general linear model. So you see here the test name is not mixed ANOVA here. What is written here?
Repeated measure.
Yeah. What have we done in our data? Have we done the same thing? We have also done the same thing, no? If you go back,
Yes.
Repeated.
if you see your data, this 3 is different or it is the same experiment you are repeating again.
It is same we have captured at different timings.
Yeah. So it is the same dependent variable which has been repeatedly measured. Correct?
Three times, na, ma'am? Three times,
Yeah,
na?
yeah. 3 times you have measured. It depends on situation, you can go even more.
Okay.
It is fine. You understood? So in SPSS, you will never see a test named as MANOVA. So it is coming as repeated measures. Okay. So once you
Okay.
click on generate linear model, then you click on repeated measures. Okay. Once you click on repeated measures, it comes as within subject factor name. So time has been measured repeatedly. How many times you have measured it?
3 times. Okay.
3 times you have measured it. So once you click 3, then you click on add. Okay, so every time you will just name it. What are those? What have you measured? Correct? So like that you have to define. So once you have done it, then you go for further. So listen, this is how you have defined it. So one cholesterol mid, pre, post, and then factor is group. Okay. So how you want to draw your plot? So time and group you can select here. Horizontal axis and separate lines for group, and then you can add it. Tukey test. Tukey test we have used yesterday also in ANOVA, correct? Okay. And post hoc test, when we have more than 2 categories, that time we use Tukey post hoc test. Why? So that it can tell us about what is happening among the groups. Okay.
Okay.
You have 3 groups now. You have control group, you have intervention
Yes,
1
ma'am.
group, you have intervention 2 group. So within those groups, what is happening? If you want to know that also, that time we need to have this Tukey test. Okay, post hoc test. Clear it is? So these are the things which we need to just click in SPSS.
Madam, you have clicked on games Howell also.
What? Yeah, this is
On the,
also one test.
on
If you
the, on
see
the,
equal variance
what is
not
that?
assumed. Okay, equal variance not
Okay,
assumed.
okay.
For that, we need to test games Howell test. Okay, we'll see how it comes.
But our 11th test signifies that it is
Yeah,
normally
so here it
distributed
is
data.
not.
So
Yeah, here it is not coming now. So here something different is there, but the purpose remains same.
okay.
Okay. Okay. So now you have defined this, and then again this one. This we have done yesterday also. Okay. Display means for time and group time. Compare main effects. So descriptive statistics, effect size, homogeneity test, everything we are just doing. Most of the things will come automatically. This is how it comes. Okay. This we can see later also. This is not much important actually.
Okay.
This is
Data
just your
science studio.
normality check. Okay. So now this is the result of test, how it has come. So homogeneity of variance test, Lebanese test, equality of error variances. So for all three it has come pre, mid and post. Every time it is more than 0.05. To test the null hypothesis that the error variance of the dependent variable is equal across the groups. This is what it means. The mixed ANOVA assumes that there are equal variances between the levels of the between subject factor group at each level of the within subject factor time for the dependent variable cholesterol. So there were homogeneity of variances as assessed by Lebanese test. So you are looking for the value for Lebanese test. Did you understand the meaning of this test right now or not? Tell me if it
Yes,
is
ma'am,
not clear.
understood.
Again, I
Clear.
will explain. So
Beach wali,
basically,
ma'am,
see
beach wali.
whatever you measure, yeah, I will tell you. So whatever you measure, you also will be having some error associated with it.
Okay.
Correct. Error means there is some information which is lost which you could not capture. Okay. Now how this error is distributed so that it does not distribute your it does not disturb your model. So it has to be equally distributed basically. You know when something has normal distribution, correct? Yes or no? We check normal distribution of data. Similarly, here we are checking the equal distribution of error. Are you getting it? When you are
Ma'am,
putting your data into
is it
SP.
like homoscedasticity? Like there should be uniform distribution of residuals on both the sides?
Yes, yes, yes. Same thing I'm telling. Residual is again the error only.
Okay.
Whatever part which is left from measuring in your model. You understood? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So normal test is for your data distribution. Lebanese test is for your error. Okay, how your error is spread across all the
Okay.
groups.
So
Understanding?
if it is distributed uniformly or evenly
So
on
value
both
should be more
sides,
than 0.05.
okay. So it also signifies that the data is normal,
No, your error is equally distributed.
equally distributed. Correct, correct.
Okay.
Around the trend line, for example.
Yes, yes. Clear it is.
Okay,
The Wilk-Shapiro test and Lebanese test, both we need to have a p-value more than 0.05
okay.
because they are telling us the uh, distribution. Okay. In all other
Distribution.
cases,
Okay,
it should be less than 0.05.
okay.
Is it clear?
Okay. So distribution of the error. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just telling you in the simple meaning. Otherwise, in technical term, you call it as homogeneity of
Oh,
variances. That means variances being divided equally among all the error groups.
right. And homoscedasticity also.
Yeah.
Correct.
And this is the assumption which they take. So that is why Lebanese test has to happen all the time whenever you are doing ANOVA or MANOVA, whatever.
Okay, ma'am.
Right? So this is it. The homogeneity of covariances. This is box test for equality of covariance matrices. So again, if you see the significance is more than 0.05. Now, what is variance and what is covariance? Variance is a measure of how a distribution is spread out. The higher it is, the more spread is a distribution. Covariance is a measure of how much two distributions change together. The higher it is, the more similar are distribution. Okay?
Okay.
That is covariance. So there was homogeneity of covariance that is assessed by box test. So this test is for covariance. Okay. This one was for variance. Okay. And this one, if you see, this is for your data normally distributed or not. Fine.
Okay.
Then you come for variance. So Lebanese test. Then you go for covariance. That is your box test. Okay. But the value remains same, more than 0.05. And then assumption of sphericity. So this is Moseley's test of sphericity. So again, you have to look for the significance value. Okay. So again, this is also more than 0.05. So only we need to interpret the p-value or significance value. Other than that, you don't need to focus on anything when you're writing your test. Okay. And then comes the interaction effect. So time and group. So we have to see significance value, which is significant. There was a statistical significant interaction between the intervention and time on cholesterol concentration. Okay. So if you do not have a statistically significant interaction, you do not need to explore simple main effect and need to concentrate on the main effect and main effect of post-op. So if this value does not come significant, in that case, you don't need to go for the Tukey test. If this comes significant, then only you go for the Tukey test. Okay. So this has come multiple comparisons. So within the groups, what is happening? So here you can see what all is significant. Okay, so intervention 2 here and here again intervention 2 and here intervention 1. So this is how the groups are interacting. So this is your Tukey's post-op test. So only significance values you need to see. again, this kind of image we have seen yesterday also, how the interaction is happening. So whether the interaction is there or not, can you see it from the image?
These are interacting somewhere.
Yeah. Yes, because they are not the parallel lines. So they are
Yes.
interacting. So once they interact, which means our study is fulfilled. Our objective has been achieved for the
Achieved.
study.
That
Okay.
means
If
there
they
is
do not
some
interact, yes. Correct. If you want to only see simple main effect for the group, so only you can go for general linear model, univariate, where you just click on one group, and Tukey test. It is similar to your ANOVA. Okay. So somewhere noise is coming. So this is individual if you want to only conclude it for the main group. So again, they are interacting.
So,
And
ma'am, interaction means there is some correlation between cholesterol and the groups. Am I correct?
yes, they are associated with each other.
Associated with each other and have
Yeah.
some kind of effect on each other.
Yes, if they do not interact with each other, which means that whatever study I'm concluding is baseless.
Baseless. Okay.
Okay. See, if I will only comment about you once I know you.
Correct. Correct.
Correct. You live in Australia where I have not heard your name, and I live in India where I have not heard your name any time. We do not have any kind of interaction with each other.
Right.
Okay, so in that case, there cannot be any study between on you and me. In that case, it doesn't make any sense.
Right. Right.
Okay, so it is like that. So interaction has to be there. So you
Okay.
can conclude it by any correlation also. Yes, they are related to each other.
Okay.
If they are not related only, see, no study can happen if the variables are not related to each other. That is simple. So that
Okay, ma'am.
interaction has to happen. Even if you go for factor analysis, regression, correlation. So that interaction has to happen between variables.
Understood.
Fine. So, and this is all. Yeah, that's all we have done. So procedure for no significant interaction. If you do not have a statistically significant interaction, you need to interpret the main effects. If either of these are statistically significant, you can interpret any pairwise comparison. So let us say your group and cholesterol levels of pre, mid, and post are not interacting with each other. So in that case, what you can do, you can just tell the separate things about group and pre, and then group and mid, and then group and post. So like that also you can do, and then you can reach to somewhere in the conclusion if they are not interacting together with each other. Is it clear or not? Or you want me to explain it again?
मैम इफेक्ट जो है ना
Yeah. See,
इफेक्ट
I'll just tell you the interaction. Yeah, I'll just tell you the simple
इफेक्ट का
words.
पता नहीं चला.
Interaction thing. See, let us say that there is a class. Okay, so what is the general assumption is that everybody should talk to everybody, little bit at least.
Right.
Okay, it should not happen that everybody is in their own world and nobody even knows their name. So that is how the interaction should happen. Now, what
Okay.
happens is that few are interacting with each other and few are not interacting with each other.
Okay.
Getting it? So in that case, what will you do? So you start interaction through these people, those who are interacting with each other.
Okay.
So
Correct.
then you start fixing the relation between those variables.
Okay. So I'll
this is how
influence
it
the
happens.
persons who are interacting. भाई थोड़ा इनको भी involve करो, इनको भी
Yeah.
जरा बात करो. Okay.
Yes. See what happens that let us say the teacher is asking 60 people, are you interacting? And then the result comes, yes, they're interacting with each other. In that case, no problem because together they're interacting. But when the result comes no, so in that case, what happens? Teacher will interact with one group, and
Correct.
then they will reach on some consensus that this is the status. because what happens that in some situation you cannot make them interacting with each
Okay.
other.
Hmm.
So whatever is the existing situation, with that only you need to just come out with the result. So in that case, you
Okay.
just interact with each group separately,
Okay.
and then you just conclude your study.
Okay. So that is the effect.
Yes.
So effect is nothing but the result of the
Yeah.
efforts.
Yes. Interaction level is strength. How much it is.
Okay.
Yesterday we have seen the effect size, na? So in that
Huh.
case, what was happening? That how much? Let us say if I'm asking about the gender and then TV advertisement, I was talking that whether there is any kind of a difference in their opinions or not.
Hmm.
Correct. So if effect size is more,
It
in
was
that case it means
1.12,
it, yeah, yeah. So effect size, if it is more, if it is close to 0.8, in that case it is strong, which means that men and women will strongly show different behavior when they are seeing a TV advertisement. Getting it?
Correct, correct.
So effect size is the strengthening of that interaction, particularly for what you're talking about.
Okay.
Okay. So this was your manova, and then
So in the yesterday's example of advertisement, so we had independent ladies versus males and females.
yes,
They were independent of each other, right?
yes,
And
yes,
based on the study, we took some data and
yeah,
and calculated the d value, which was
hmm.
coming around 1.12, which was more than
Yeah,
0.8. That means large.
yes, yes,
So
yeah.
the interaction is between female and advertisement and males and uh,
The way they see the advertisement
okay.
and the difference between those people, okay, male and female. So see what happens that one impact is that male and female they show very less difference in their behavior.
Towards the advertisement.
Yeah, and one is they show very high difference between their behavior.
Mhm.
That is what we are trying to
So
say.
on collective basis, we have to determine whether there is some kind of interaction between advertisement and
Yeah,
groups
yeah,
of
yeah.
females and males.
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay, okay. So that means there was some correlation between
yes.
group and the
Yeah,
advertisement. Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
So mix is over. For now we go for one-way maneuver. Okay, we'll see how it happens.
Ma'am, one more last question for this maneuver. Effect size has to be calculated, main effect size?
No, no,
Or,
here we are not calculating.
okay, no, it is coming out from the SPSS, but do we need to mind it in our research?
No,
Or
no,
we just,
no,
okay,
no, no.
it is for additional thought
Yeah,
process.
sometimes people are just looking for the effect size, like specific studies. See, normally when you're going for PhD and all, so t-test is just a very small part of your study.
Hmm.
But when you're writing a very important research paper for any premium journals, that time if the entire study is only based on t-test, in that case you should report.
Okay, so it is for additional, uh,
Yes.
okay, additional flavor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so now we go for one-way maneuver. So what happens here? So you have ID and you have a school. See, earlier what was happening? It was a one dependent variable which you were measuring 3 times. Correct? Understanding mixed ANOVA what it was? One categorical variable and one scale variable, which scale variable was measured 3 times.
Right,
That was repeated measures.
right.
Now this is MANOVA, okay, one-way MANOVA. So now what will happen here? See, earlier in one-way, two-way three-way ANOVA, if you remember, you are having one dependent variable and more than 1, 2, 3 independent variables. Correct. Here, your dependent variable will increase and independent variable remains 1. So
Okay.
here is your school, English score and math score, which means you have 2 scale variables here.
Okay.
So now we see, so the pupils at a high school came from 3 different primary schools. The head teacher wanted to know whether there were academic difference between the pupils, the 3 different primary schools. So they have 20 from A, 20 from B, and 20 from C, and they measured their academic performance. So what they do, they have measured their English and math exam marks they have taken. So 2 exam marks served as a dependent variable. So you see here, English and maths marks are dependent variables. So now you have 2 dependent variables and 1 independent variable, that is the school of the person or the student. Is it clear?
Okay, ma'am.
I told you to make a table also so that you will be able to remember. Okay, so mixed ANOVA, what was happening that you were having one independent variable and one dependent, which you are measuring repeatedly. And then your one way. Yeah, tell me.
Can you please go to the previous slide for seeing the data, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay, this is school. And subject ID is 1732.
Yeah, that is just yeah, that we are not going to do anything. That is just a number.
Nominal data, ma'am. Eh?
Yeah, nominal, but we will not do anything with it.
Okay, ma'am. Understood.
Okay.
You
So
can
your
move ahead.
data. So basically, you have 2 dependent variables here now. Okay. And
Yes.
one independent variable. Correct. So one independent variable is categorical, and 2 dependent variables are your scale variables.
Yes.
So then we see. So this is your one variable independent, and these 2 are dependent variables. So now what you need to see is you want to know the statistically significant difference of vector of the means between the groups. There are how many groups we have in school? 3 groups: school A, school B, school C.
Right.
So the one-way multivariate and one-way multivariate analysis of variance. Okay, MANOVA is an extension of the one-way ANOVA. So one-way ANOVA, what happened that we were having one independent variable and one dependent variable. Okay,
Right.
here we are having one independent variable and 2 dependent variables.
2 dependent variable. Okay.
Okay, everything else remains same. So 2 more dependent variables. Okay, and then just the one dependent variable. Unlike the one way ANOVA, which tests the difference in means values between the groups, the one-way MANOVA tests for the linear composite or vector of the means between groups. So essentially, it combines the dependent variables to form a new dependent variable in such a way as to maximize the difference between the groups of the independent variable. It is between this new composite variable that you test for statistically significant difference between the groups. So what it is telling in the simple meaning is that now these 2 dependent variables you have seen, so you need to compute a new dependent variable, which is the combination of these 2 dependent variables, which you have taken for the study. So how it happens? How it happens? Let me see here. So we need to compute a new variable. Okay, so one independent variable that is categorical with 2 or more groups. Okay, 2 or more dependent variables that are continuous. So you have English score, you have math score. So independence of observations, no univariate or multivariate outlier, normality has to be there, linear relationship should be there. Okay, homogeneity of covariance should be there, no multicollinearity should be there. This is how it is. So again, we go for one-way MANOVA data set, and we need to check the normality first. So for we go to explore every time whenever you need to check the normality. Okay, so we have taken dependent variable and factor here, and this always comes like this. So box plot. I think now you remember everything, correct, na? So now significance values more than 0.05, Wilks-Shapiro test, which means the data is normal. Then you go for multicollinearity detection, so correlate, bivariate, and then you have taken all the things, subject ID and school, variables, two variables you have taken, English and math. So it is showing you the score here. So this is significantly, correlation is coming as significant. So you want your dependent variables to be moderately correlated with each other. If the correlation are low, you might be better off running separate one ANOVAs. And if the correlation are too high, you have multi-collinearity. Okay, so
Maybe in
now
this
you
case, in the correlations table for math
Hmm.
score, what is the significance level? Nothing.
what?
For math score in the
Hmm.
correlations table, there is no significance level as such.
No, it has come to 3.393. That is the correlation level between both the variables.
No. What about significance level for math score?
Significance level for 0.002 it has come, no?
It is for
Ma'am, here,
English score. What
I
about
think here we have found correlation between English scores and math scores, and it is moderately positively correlated, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
0.93.
yeah,
So it is significant 0.002. We have
yeah,
found correlation between maths and English,
yeah,
correct? Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Thank
What is
you.
the confusion?
okay. Oh, sorry. 0.00.
Okay,
Understood.
okay. So just try to interpret it, and then from here you can also take a note on multicollinearity. In which situation multicollinearity will occur. So if you remember, I gave you the example in first class. Then when the interaction is too much,
Hmm.
okay, we want low interaction. We do not want them to fight. We want them to talk to each other, but not all the time.
Not too much. Correct.
Okay, so we need low correlation, which is less than 0.5. So here we are getting the apt correlation, 0.393. If the correlation comes as 0.8, 0.9, that means multicollinearity exists.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the moderate correlation. That should be there. 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 is fine.
You mean to say point? It should be less than 0.5
Yeah,
always.
it should not be higher.
Okay. But as a ballpark figure, it should be less than 0.5.
As as a
As a general rule, as a rule of thumb, it should be less than 0.5.
yeah.
Do we need to give any reference for that?
No.
Of some.
See, here you are checking multicollinearity. You are not checking the correlation between them. Your idea behind is to check the multicollinearity. If you want to check correlation between each other, that time you want it to be high. But that you are not checking, no?
Yes.
You are checking multicollinearity.
My question is to prove that there is no multicollinearity. Do we need to give any reference in our research paper
No,
of the
no.
previous paper which says that for multicollinear test the data the correlation should be less than 0.5?
No, not like that.
Okay.
Not like that. Okay. See, it is a simple thing that here you are using the correlation analysis,
Yes.
but you are not testing correlation. You are testing something else. There are two ways to ask your guest. Once you like your guest, you talk them. What you ask them that will you have food?
Right.
Okay. Once you do not like them to offer food, how do you ask? Have you eaten food?
Correct. Nice.
Because what you want to check, you do not want to serve them dinner.
Correct.
Your intention is something else. So here also we are just running the correlation analysis, but our intention is not to check the correlation analysis.
Okay.
We are doing it ulta. We are hoping correlation है तो नहीं यहाँ पे.
Okay.
Getting it?
Okay.
So we are doing it reverse approach. It is like that.
Okay, ma'am.
Getting it? So our intention is to check multicollinearity, not to check the correlation. But we do not have any other option. How do we check it? We have to use the correlation analysis. Okay.
बट शिवांगी मैम उनके घर जाएंगे तो वो खाना जरूर खिलाएंगे आपको।
अभी नहीं खिलाएंगे वर्कशॉप के बाद। Okay,
थैंक
fine. So, so now linearity test you do. As we told you, the why we are doing all this, I have already given you the checklist. I will just go back and show you. Yeah, all this we are doing. Okay, independence, and then univariate, multivariate, conormality, linear relationship, homogeneity, no particularity. So all that we are checking. Okay,
Correct.
so we have checked in the normality, we have checked in the collinearity, then we are going for linear test. Okay, so this is how you can check the linear thing. Okay, chart builder, you can just create a chart also, so that will also show you how they are related. And then comes multivariate outlier test. In that case, you go for regression, linear, and then you are just putting dependent and independent uh, variables. So linear regression, this is the test, Lebnosis we call it, and here you will just put it. So number of dependent variables and the critical values will come. So there is no multivariate outliers in the data as assessed by Mahal and Lopez. The distance P is more than 0.001. So and then finally you need to conduct the MANOVA. Once all your checks are done, straight away also you can go, not a problem. Okay. So MANOVA, how do you calculate it? So you go for subject ID, analyze all cases, do not create any groups, and then generate linear model. Multivariate you go. In multivariate you select dependent and then fixed factor, and then you go for Tukey, and then Games Howell test. Descriptive you want, estimate you want, homogeneity test you want. So
मैम एक बार एक्चुअल एसपीएसएस पे करके दिखाएंगे ना मैम, देन इट विल बी फ्रूटफुल फॉर अस आफ्टर एक्सप्लेनिंग दिस।
okay, so I will run that also. So this is your box test. Okay. So again, the p-value is 0.003, which means the test is
सिग्निफिकेंट।
statistically significant. Then we go for homogeneity variance, that is your Leibniz test, more than 0.05. Okay, that is also significant. Then you go for descriptives. Then you go for finally MANOVA result. So this is how you have taken the values here. What all you need to interpret here, that p-value you need to interpret. So p-value, how much it is coming? 0.000, which means it is a significant.
करेक्ट,
Okay, which means there is significant difference between the schools on the combined dependent variable.
राइट।
So from which school they belong to, their maths and English marks are different. That's what we want to say here. And that was the entire agenda of conducting this exercise. Okay, then one way, of course, you can conduct with the same way, which will give you independent results. And this is your post hoc test, multiple comparisons.
इसमें क्या देखना चाहिए मैम हमको?
No, we just need to see the significance value. So wherever it is significance, which means that English is score. So for which group English score is significant? Okay, so it's for school B and C.
करेक्ट, ओके।
And here only school A. Here school A. Okay, so like this it is.
So school for school A, B, C, it is showing significant. For school B, school C, okay, okay, it is between them.
Yeah.
School B and school C, there is
Yes.
no significant difference.
Yeah.
Okay. So it shows the interaction between different schools.
Yeah, you can read it if you can spend a minute here. Tukey post hoc test showed that for English score, pupils from school A had a statistically significant higher mean score than pupil from either school B
Right.
or school C.
Or school C, okay, correct.
Okay, but between school B and school C, okay, but not between B and C.
Right, understood.
Okay, so only school A had showed. Fine, like that.
Okay, understood, ma'am. Thank you.
So this is the reporting which we do, p-value and all whatever values we have got, the summary of result. Okay, graphing output, that will come automatically. So school A, B, C outcomes, English score and math score.
Madam, what do we see observe in these graphs?
So if you see that for if I ask you that English and math score is high for which group,
Okay.
which group? Tell me.
Okay, so in case of school A, the English score was more. For
Yeah.
school B, it was in between school A and school C.
Hmm.
Okay, so this shows the only estimated means of marks.
Yeah.
And for okay, similarly in case of maths scores,
It is
school
showing
A
you the mean values.
mean value. So school A is apparently seems to be the best school
Yeah.
to send our children to.
Yeah. Because their marks are different. If you see both the subjects, English also, maths also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
And then if you compare the English score for B school, English is lesser, but for maths it is high.
Madam, estimated marginal means what does that mean? Estimated marginal.
We have calculated mean value for each score, no? In descriptive analysis. That's
Okay.
all.
So what is the meaning of marginal then?
See, marginal means you will be getting a mean value, you will be getting a standard deviation for positive and negative side.
Okay.
In that range, we call it as marginal mean.
Okay. In that range.
Yeah.
Okay.
Understood.
So let us say mu plus minus standard deviation.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the estimated marginal.
Yes. So this is how it is. So now we have done our one way MANOVA also.
But ma'am, mu plus standard deviation plus minus. Suppose if we take, so the middle value will be mu only.
No. Your entire range changes. Na? If you do plus and minus, you get two values.
Yes.
So you get a range.
Okay, so but the middle value will be mu only. Mean only.
Yeah.
So then what is the meaning of marginal means then?
Marginal means a range you have given, na? Plus and minus. So that is the marginal. What is the standard deviation here and there? That much margin you have given them. So basically, you are comparing the mean values with the standard deviation together.
Suppose my mean value is 12 and standard deviation is 1. So 12 plus minus 1. So one value will be 11 and the other value will be 13. 11 to 13.
Between that, what is happening?
So between that is 12 only, na?
Between that, I mean to say the participants between that value you have taken in the graph.
Okay.
Those scores are between these values, na? Those participants you have taken in the graph.
Right.
So on that basis, you are judging it. There will be few people who are getting less than that also.
Haji, correct.
So that you are not considering that, na?
And few people more than that.
Yeah.
Toppers jo honge.
Yes.
Unlike me.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So now we quickly go for ANCOVA because this is the thing, and then we have to come to the regression part, logistic and ordinal. So that much we have to finish. So for comparing means and all, this is the last test. Okay. Everything else we have done. So last one is ANCOVA. Anyone can you tell me the full form of it?
What
Analysis of covariance.
Yeah.
किस चीज का मैम? What did you ask?
ANCOVA full.
Okay.
ANOVA is analysis of variance.
Okay.
ANCOVA is analysis of covariance.
Okay. I'm hearing for the first time. Sorry.
Okay, so the PPT is visible, no? So now you only have pre and post. Now you just remember your paired t-test. Just quickly recall paired t-test if you remember.
Yes,
What was happening there?
we were determining the effect of some intervention, na?
Yeah, pre
On
and post.
pre
Correct?
and post. Yeah, pre and post studies or before and after analysis, as
Yeah.
Devika madam told.
Yes. Okay. So just almost similar thing we are going to do here is, so what we do here is a researcher was interested in determining whether a 6-week training program was best at reducing blood cholesterol concentrations in middle-aged men. Anybody remembers in sample t-test how many groups we were having? When categorical variable you had, how many groups you had? 2, 3 or more? Tell me. Paired sample t-test. Quickly recall the example we discussed there and then everything gets crystal clear here.
I think we had four groupings, na? Two
We
main
took,
two main groups. Two main groups.
yeah, we
One
took one group,
huh,
divided into two groups equally,
A
we
and B.
splitted, yeah, and then we conducted the experiment and then we compared the results.
Right.
Correct?
Correct.
Here
By
we are
cross method.
having, yeah, here we are having categorical variable which will have more than 2 categories.
Okay.
And then we conduct the experiment and then we compare the result, pre and post.
Okay.
So it is the extension of your paired sample t-test.
Okay.
Getting it?
Mhm.
So researcher was
Yesterday,
interested.
madam, in case of yesterday example, you split the population into two groups, A and B.
Yeah,
Population group A was given treatment 1,
yeah,
group B was given treatment 2, and
yeah,
afterwards group A was given treatment 2 and
yes,
group B was given treatment 1.
correct. And then we
So,
compare the results.
and then we compared the results to know whether there is difference or there is effect of the treatment or not.
Yeah,
Right. But
correct.
ma'am, that was cross method, right? As you mentioned.
Yeah,
So in that also we have wanted to know the whether the performance of group A and group B is equal or not. Correct?
yeah,
Okay.
that was the agenda.
Hmm. But
Okay,
my
so
question is, what should be the difference between the treatments? For example, one set of treatment was given to group A and group B, and second time you are reversing the treatments to group A and B. So
we are
between these
just
two,
checking the result, how it differs. That's it.
so what can be the difference of time between these two treatments to the two
See,
groups?
again, yesterday also I told you, it depends on the study, how much time gap you can give.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so that's
Context.
what it is.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
now this kind of data we have been given. So we have a group. So we have pre and post. So we need to see that what kind of difference happens here. So researcher wants to know that a 6-week training program is there. So here the time difference is 6 weeks. Okay. So first experiment will be done on one day, and another one will be done on after 6 weeks. So this much time gap has been done. So they want to know was about this training program, which is best at reducing blood cholesterol concentration in middle-aged men. So both exercise programs were designed so that the same number of calories were expended in the low and high intensity groups. So the duration of exercise differed between groups. The researcher expected that any reduction in cholesterol concentration elicited by the interventions would also depend on the participants' initial cholesterol concentration. So, a researcher wanted to use pre-intervention cholesterol concentration as a covariate when comparing the post-intervention cholesterol concentrations between the interventions and a control group. So, that is why researcher ran an ANCOVA with the post-intervention cholesterol concentration as a dependent variable. The control and two intervention groups as levels of the independent variable group and the pre-intervention cholesterol concentrations as a covariate pre. So we'll see that how this technical language gets simplified. So these are the three groups we have taken, pre and post we are seeing now, and this is the training program for 6 weeks. Okay. So what is the objective? So you believe that the post-intervention sources will depend to some degree on the pre-intervention scores. So you want to compare difference in post-intervention score between the intervention with the pre-intervention score as a covariate. Okay, so these are the scores we have for their cholesterol levels. So the analysis of covariance, ANCOVA, and can be thought of as an extension of the one-way ANOVA to incorporate a covariate variable. So this covariate is linearly related to the dependent variable, and the inclusion of it into the analysis can reduce the error associated with a one-way ANOVA. So an ANCOVA is used to determine whether there are any statistically significant differences between the adjusted population means of 3 or more independent groups. So, so far we'll just focus on the data, what we have taken here, and then we will see. So, this is what our control variable, and this is a dependent variable. Okay. So, what is happening here is just read it once and then try to understand it. Is it visible?
It will come. It will come. I think because of internet, it is taking time. It has not come.
Okay, okay. Just give me a second and just do it. Okay. Is it visible now? Can you see this?
Now it is coming.
Okay.
Now it is come. It has come.
Just analyze the data which is given. So one is your dependent variable, okay? Then one we are taking it as the covariate variable, that is continuous. So both are continuous variables only, but one we treat as the covariate variable and the one we treat as dependent variable. So this one is your dependent variable and this one is your covariate variable. And this remains your independent variable.
Ma'am, pre-data, pre-readings, they are not covariate data.
Yeah, that is covariate data.
So pre and post, these are two streams of data.
Yes.
Between which we are calculating covariance.
So one we take it as covariate variable.
Okay. Out of these two.
Yeah.
So in case of pre and post, you are considering post readings as covariate data.
Yeah. Pre we are taking as covariate and post we are taking as dependent.
Okay.
Getting it? So this fine, we are taking it as our outcome variable, final dependent variable.
Okay.
Okay, so and this is again a checklist which we have to do: normal distribution, and then outlier check, homogeneity of regression, linear relationship, and then homoscedasticity. This has come now. So how do we do it? Linear test. So ANCOVA we need to run first. So there are a linear relationship between pre and post intervention cholesterol concentration of each intervention type by assist visual inspection of scatter plot. So what it means? It means that there is no interaction between pre and post. Okay, this is what we want. Okay. So this is what we want here, that there should not be there should not be any interaction between pre and the post. So then we go for homogeneity. So generate linear model, univariate you tick, and dependent is post, and independent is group, and here you have covariate. So in covariate you are entering pre, and then in model you have group and pre. So which model we want? We want group and pre. We want to see first. So in this we want to see group and pre. So there was a homogeneity of regression slopes as the interaction was not statistically significant, which means both are same. Okay. Because it is not a significant thing. And then again we have to change it. So again we go for univariate, post, group, pre as covariate, and full factorial. Okay. Here we see in model what all we click, full factorial, and then in here and standardized, and what options group we want, and these are the tests which we have done already: descriptives, estimates, and homogeneity. So normality test, you go to analyze, descriptive, explore, and in that scenario, the dependent list. And this is how Shapiro value will come, which is again not significant, which means that the data is normally distributed. Then comes homoscedasticity. So how do we do that? Scatter plot you need to run. Okay. So pre and ZRE, it is assumed that the variance of the residuals is equal for all predicted values. So the residuals are randomly distributed and have approximately the same variance for all values of predicted scores as assessed by visual inspection of the scatter plot. So therefore, the assumption of homoscedasticity is not violated. And then again, Leibniz test, again it is more than 0.05. So again, it is homogeneity of variance exists.
So data is again normal.
Yeah. Detecting outliers. So outliers will be any ZRE1 score that is greater than plus minus 3 standard deviations. The easiest way to do is to simplify view the data to see if any value above or below this level. So there were no outliers because already we have checked the Will Shapiro test, so that's why no problem here. So here we have our descriptive statistics, mean values you can see if you want. This is your ANCOVA result. We wanted it for a group which is not significant, which is significant. So after adjustment of pre-intervention cholesterol concentration, there was statistically significant difference in post-intervention cholesterol concentrations. What you need to see here is notice how the mean values have been changed compared to those found in descriptive statistics table. These are new values present to adjusted means. So these are the adjusted mean values. These are adjusted and the standard error, and this is unadjusted mean values and standard errors. Okay, as we told you that we have to create a new variable. Okay. So this is again your post hoc test has come. So all the groups are showing significant, which means that every thing is showing. So by consulting the significance levels, you can see which group comparisons are statistically significantly different, and you can report the results the same way we have done for 1V ANOVA. If you want, you can read it once. Done?
Yeah.
So you understood the purpose of each test, correct? So now I'll just cover the theory part of our logistic regression, and then data sheet I will run tomorrow. I think by that time your video will also come. So you can just have an idea. And these test one sheet I will give you today also. So you can also try, and then tomorrow I will also run. Is it fine?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So now we'll go for the theory of regression.
But please, ma'am, try and upload the handout so that we can practice.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Give me some, because what happens that by 7 o'clock we get free and then I have to make it. So little bit time you need to give.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Visible?
It is coming.
Okay. Prediction ordinal logistic regression. So what happens there that what actually we do here? So the ordinal logistic regression, it predicts an ordinal dependent variable given one or more independent variables. Okay, so you can make a note here. So one dependent variable, that is ordinal. Ordinal means which has categories. Okay, and one or more independent variables. For
Ma'am,
example,
what is the meaning of basically regression? What we have studied that
regression.
it is a
I'll
model,
tell you.
prediction model. But what is the meaning, literal meaning of regress? Like in case of correlation, we can say it is an association. But in case of regression, what is regress?
If I tell you in simple words, see what happens in correlation and regression. See, correlation basically tells you whether these two people are related or not.
Right.
Okay, only they will tell you, are they related?
Hmm.
If they are related, are they related positively or negatively?
Okay.
If you are getting positive correlation or negative correlation or zero correlation. So
Hmm.
either they are related or they are not related.
Hmm.
If they are related, how they are related, positively or negatively? If
Hmm.
it is positively or negatively, are they related more than zero point 0.5 is the value or less than 0.3 is the value or close to zero point 0.9 is the value? So what kind of value of relationship you are getting?
Hmm. I think connection lost. Shivangi ma'am? शिवांगी मैम?
यस सर।
हाँ, कनेक्शन चला गया मैम का।
हाँ शायद मैम कनेक्ट हो रही होंगी, एक सेकंड में कॉल करती हूँ उनको। मैं कॉल करके सर रिवर्ट कर रही हूँ ना।
नो इशू, नो इशू।
Yeah, I had this power fluctuation. Am I audible?
Yes ma'am, you are audible.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
fine. So we were talking about regression. So as I was telling you about the correlation thing. So correlation basically tells you are they related.
Hmm.
The level of correlation will also tell you that are they highly correlated or moderately or very low correlation or weak correlation it is. But they will not tell you that who is influencing whom and how much it is influencing.
Hmm.
It is like only tell you that two people know each other.
Okay.
They know them very well each other, or they just know them each other okay, or all that only it is telling.
Okay.
But it is not telling you that who is influencing whom and to what extent it is influencing another person.
Okay.
So till correlation, you do not need to identify your dependent and independent variable.
Hmm. Okay.
But the moment you reach to regression stage, you have to define who is dependent, who is independent,
Okay.
who is influencing whom.
So if we consider, for example, two groups A and B,
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
there will be different equations like regression of A on B and regression of B on A.
Mm-hmm.
You mean to say
No,
that?
no, no. No, in one study you will be having, see, you have nature of variables. It is not like that the dependent variable can never be independent variable. But
Hmm.
in your study, you will be having a certain set of variables in which a few are independent and few are dependent.
Hmm.
So in regression, you need to define that who is independent, who is dependent, and accordingly, you will be getting the result that what is the impact of independent variable on dependent variable.
Hmm. No, in case I have data of two groups, right,
Hmm.
ma'am? A and group, and I want to know whether there is effect of B on A. So I consider
Hmm.
group A data as my dependent variable and
Yeah,
data of group B as independent variable.
yeah.
Right. So I can
Huh.
go for regression analysis, linear regression
Yeah.
analysis. So
Yes, yes.
so A is equal to A plus B, whatever it is.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it may explain that there is a for example 67% of A is explained by B. But
Yeah.
when I go for the reverse case, like
Hmm.
B, what is the effect of A on B? So
Hmm.
my regression equation
In
becomes
the same study, you cannot do that. No, with the same variable, how can you do it vice versa?
okay.
Either gender will influence the purchase decision, or purchase decision will influence gender. How can both influence each other? Cannot
Okay.
happen.
Okay. Okay.
Either the age can influence your income, or income can influence your age. Can it happen both the ways?
Okay. No, it
So it
can.
depends on your study. In the
Okay.
study, how you have defined your variables. Who is independent, who is dependent.
Okay. Same type of data we cannot say.
No,
Okay.
that does not make any sense, na? If you are
Okay.
giving a two-way relationship, so in
Okay.
that case, does not make any sense.
So, for example, income data of males and females, we cannot regress to each other. You mean to say that?
No.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
How?
Hello.
You will be having an objective, na, in
Hmm.
your study.
Hello.
Yeah,
Okay.
tell me.
Joe, I just want one example for the sir.
Hmm.
We can say that rainfall affects the productivity of agriculture, but it is
Hmm.
not other way around.
Yeah.
Agriculture productivity doesn't affect rainfall. So here, the agriculture productivity is the dependent variable, rainfall is the independent. And there is a
No.
one-way relationship. We can say there is a two-way relationship between the both variables.
And
Hmm.
this I'm telling in the same study. In the same
Hmm.
study, both cannot happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, ma'am. Understood.
Getting it? So like that it
Okay.
is.
Okay. Understood. Understood.
Okay, fine. So now we go for our logistic regression. Quickly we see that in what scenario we need to use it. Any idea about to anybody how it is and why we use this regression? How it is different from the ordinary one?
Ma'am, linear regression and this multivariate regression, it is ordinary. Eh? Is it
Yeah.
ordinary?
This one, what we are trying to talk now is ordinal logistic regression. So what happens here is that you need to have one ordinal variable, which is a dependent variable, and already you know that what is ordinal variable, which you can create into categories and you can make it an, you can provide an order to it. So
Okay.
you could use ordinal logistic regression to predict the belief that tax is too high, which is your dependent variable. measured on a 4-point Likert scale from strongly disagree to strongly agree, based on two independent variables, age and income. Okay, so as with the other types of regression, ordinal logistic regression can also use interaction between independent variable to predict the dependent variable. How it happens, we'll see. So dependent variable, one ordinal variable, IB, it can be one or more continuous, ordinal or categorical, anything it can be basically. Okay. So independent variable you can have more than one and it can be of any type.
Ma'am, are you sharing some
So
slide? Are you showing?
yeah, I will try.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not visible, huh?
No.
Okay, okay.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, what is the difference between normal, means binary logistic regression and ordinal logistic regression?
Only difference is the category. Binary you can only take two categories.
Um, yes, ma'am. Two
Dependent
categorical
variable you have.
variable would be
Yeah.
dependent variable. And in
Yeah.
case of ordinal, what is the difference, ma'am?
In this,
In case of ordinal logistic regression, what is the difference?
you're having a dependent variable. No? So in dependent variable and binary logistic, you can only have two categories of a dependent variable.
Okay.
But here you can have more than two.
So then what is the multinomial? So is it within the multinomial, ma'am? Means ordinal
No.
logistic is
You can call it as.
okay, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. So we just see how it happens. Just do let me know if the PPT is not visible. I'm just sharing it again. Yeah. So one ordinal variable and then independent variable can be anything. So in what context you are using? You are using a statement that is tax is too high in this country. So you are giving them four options. Okay, strongly disagree, disagree, agree, or strongly agree. So these ordered responses were the categories of dependent variables. Okay, so researcher asked participants to a number of simple questions. So other than that, other than this question, also you are asking them some questions. Okay, so you are asking their age, you are asking their the party for which they have voted and all. So, this is how your data sheet looks in that case. So you are asking them ownership and friends, education, age, politics, income, and then in the end, this is your one final dependent variable. Tax is too high, which where we have given four categories. Okay, so this is important in order to check for multipolarity and assumption of ordinal logistic regression. The number of dummy variables to be created for any categorical variable is one less than the number of its categories. So this you can leave also, not a problem. Basically, you are just taking a few variables so that you can check the multicollinearity. Okay. This is not required actually. You can skip it. So these are the two dummy variables which they have created, okay, which are nominal variables. So the Decomotus dependent variables are to be created based on the cumulative splits of the ordinal dependent variable tax too high. So these two new dependent variables are required so that separate binomial logistic regression can be run. So you have made three categories, dichotomous variable it is, okay, and how you are coding it. So you can make categories. Okay, so if it is strongly disagree, it is less than or equal to 0. If it is strongly disagree, it is close to 1. And then if it is equal more than or less than 2, then disagree or like that, you are just coding it. So these are the categories which you have made. So ordinal dependent variable with four categories. So strongly disagree, agree, strongly agree. So first cumulative dichotomy. So you are just dividing into three categories. Okay. And then first cumulative probability and then new coding. So these three you are coding in 0 and this one you are coding into 1. Probability category, less than strongly disagree, and more than strongly disagree, everything will be considered in the 0. So you just recode old and new values. This one, recoding and coding of variables, you would have learned in the basic SPSS. So this part we are not covering again. How do you recode the variables? This is the basic. How do you split files and how you code and decode and recode?
Right, वो ट्रांसफॉर्म करके जो हो जाता है.
Yeah, that's it. So, and then the second thing, how we are doing it. This is second cumulative dichotomy where your two are getting as failure and two are taking as success. This is 0 and this is 1. Earlier 3 you have taken for 0. Now 2 you have taken for 0. And again you are just recording it. And then third one, third level dichotomy. Okay. 1 and 3. Same thing again, you are recoding it. So this is how you have recoded. So basically what is happening here is that if you understand, I'll just tell you the data sheet and it is very simple. So you see here, text too high. What you see here is strongly disagree. Strongly disagree, strongly disagree, strongly agree, agree, agree. So what you have done here, you have made into two things, 0 or 1, 0 or 1, 0 or 1. However, there are 4 categories, correct? Yes or no? For text too high, you have given them 4 options. Yes or no, tell me?
Yes, ma'am.
But what you are doing, you are converting the entire response sheet into 2 categories. Either it is 0 or it is 1. Like that you have recoded. How you have recoded? So that you can run the binary logistic regression. So this is 1, this is 2 and this is 3. Okay. So it is simple recoding. And multicularity, again, you go for regression, linear, and all the dummy variables, whatever you have created, you are just taking it. Dependent is text too high, and polarity diagnostics you run. So you will okay. How do you run binomial logistic regression? As I told you, you need to only have 2 categories. So that is why you have converted your entire data into 2 categories. So regression, binary logistics. So there you are taking category 1 and independent variables you have taken covariates. Okay. So and the same thing you need to do for category 2 and category 3 as well. So categorical variates. So ordinary logistic regression. So this is generalized linear model. That is GenLib. Generalized linear model. You just click there, and in that you need to select ordinal logistic. Which type of model you are looking at. This is the second step. Okay, once you click on generalized linear model, so we are looking for scale response, ordinal logistic. Okay. And in ordinal logistic, third step takes too high is a dependent variable, and there you are selecting your covariates also. And once you go for estimation, Fisher you select, include exponential parameter estimates. So these are the steps which you need to select to run the ordinal logistic regression. So this is how the result comes. So politics significance, it is significant. The political party last voted for has a statistically significant effect on the prediction of whether tax is thought to be high or not. This is chi-square value, and we obviously look for only p-value, which is less than 0.05. Okay, so then you will look for the final model, business owner. So here again, p-value, if you look, it is less than 0.05. So the odds ratio of being in a higher category of the dependent variable for business owners versus non-business owners is 1.944. which is statistically significant because the p-value is 0.022. And then if you see for politics, so the odds of liberal Democrat voters considering tax to be too high was similar to be again it is not significant. Okay, so there is no difference, and this one is significant here. If you see the p-value is 0.001. So the odds of conservative voters considering tax to be high was 3.194, and the p-value is 0.001, which is statistically significant. And then for continuous variables, so if you see the categories, dichotomous and all that we have created, we created categories. So for that it is. Then comes for age, that is continuous variable. So 0.000, again it is significant, which means that increase in age was also associated with an increase in the odds of considering tax too high.
Okay.
This is how we have done the stage-wise comparison for dichotomous and then polytomous and then continuous.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, instead of running the ordinal logistic regression,
Huh.
we can only run the binary logistic regression. Um,
You can do so. That's why we have created that, na?
means I am not using the ordinal; it is separate. But
See,
separately, I can only use.
ordinal only you have converted into a binary.
No, ma'am, means directly I am using the binary logistic, not
Yeah, so
ordinal.
we have, yeah, that only I'm telling. See, if you go previous, here we have run the binary one. First, we have run the binary one. Here, if you are running into category 1, 2, 3, that is your binary one, which you are running directly. You see here, linear and binary.
Oh,
This only we have run, no?
that I have seen. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And this is the separate step for ordinal logistic regression. Getting it? They both are different.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
tell me. Tell me.
Ma'am, what are the assumptions for ordinal logistic regression?
I think we have discussed it. Yes. Okay, assumptions we have not discussed here. So here we just need to check for the multicolority. We have to check, and all the variables you have to define as the categorical variables. You just provide the recoding of the data. So as such, you do not have any restrictions here.
That means we can use non-parametric data, parametric data, anything.
Yes, 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 yes. Because here we are not even checking for normality also.
Okay, only
Okay, multicolority we are checking. Yes. So we have done. So we have done
And
binary using this. Yeah, tell me.
what is the difference in assumptions between binomial and ordinal?
No, 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 no difference.
No difference. And
No
what is
difference. It
the
is just see. If I tell you the simple words, let us say you have you have collected the data in ordinal format. Okay, and then you want to go for binomial logistic regression, where you only want to have two categories. Let us say yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
Getting it? Either I agree text is high or I disagree. Only two categories I want. So in that case, you can go for binomial. Then if you want to go for category wise, strongly agree, strongly disagree, agree and all, then you go ordinal logistic. So binomial means only two categories. That's the only difference.
Means if the dependent has only yes and no, and there is
Yes,
no category, means yes,
yes,
within yes, there is no category.
Yeah,
Yes
how you
means
have
yes
made
only.
categories. How you have made the categories. You are having full freedom. So here we have taken 3 types of categories. No?
Yeah, ma'am.
We have taken 1 and 3 group, and then we have taken 2, and then we have taken 3 and 1. So any category kind of thing you can make, and then you can make it binary logistic regression.
Yes, ma'am.
And if
Ma'am,
you get
suppose I have two groups. That one group is subscribing to a particular
Yeah.
service of a
Huh.
product, means service of a company, and another group they are the non-subscribers.
Yeah.
So I want to predict the factors which are actually have the effect on that subscription.
Huh.
So if they are subscribing, then yes. If they are not subscribing, then no.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in that case, using the predictors, I can run a binary logistic
Yes.
regression.
Yes. Yes.
So in that case, the target group and reference group. So how to choose the target group and reference group? Whether there is any criteria, ma'am?
No, you need to only choose a dependent variable here. Who is a dependent variable?
Subscription to that particular
Yeah.
service. That is the
Yes.
dependent.
Yes. That's
So those who are subscribing, I am giving that dummy variable 1, and those who are not subscribing, they are
yeah.
getting 0.
Yeah. Like that. Completely your choice. How you want to recode it.
Okay, ma'am. Whether
Understood?
any means sample size requirement, that how many predictors
No.
we can use
No.
a
No. No.
particular sample size.
No. No.
Okay, ma'am.
Actually, very few studies will be conducted in this thing, ordinal logistic regression, or even if you go for further now, just like discriminant or a cluster or a conjoint analysis, you will see very few studies.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, any references or a good book from where we can read at least some
You
for
can pick up
binary?
IBM SPSS reference guide only, so that is only I think good. That gives you authentic information.
Ma'am, where to get it? IBM.
That whenever you click on the test only in Help Center only, you will get it.
Oh, from the software.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
So,
Thank you.
ma'am, logistic regression basically it is similar to regression, linear regression. Only when we use ordinal data, then we call it logistic regression. Is it correct? Is my understanding correct?
Yeah, and other than that, you can have more than one independent variables, and then you can have a cross-sectional view of your data, that who is doing what.
Okay.
Okay, like this. So for your
Ma'am,
dichotomous
I
variable,
have
yeah.
one suggestion. Like if tomorrow, we can spend 15-20 minutes for logistic regression, and if you can, run the data file on SPSS and help
Huh.
us, because I think many of us are facing problem with logistic regression. And
Okay.
even if you
Yes,
can,
ma'am. I
take a
think
simple,
it will be
a
better.
simple example on binary as well.
Yeah, yeah. So we can
Because
run that.
this is my suggestion, ma'am. Until and unless you will not, take an example of binary, it would be very difficult for all of us to understand the ordinal logistic regression. So,
Sure, sure.
okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah,
And ma'am,
we'll
one
do
thing
that.
more, ma'am. I have one
Yeah.
request to
Uh,
to give some time on odd ratio and regression coefficient, b value and exponential b value also, to explain that
Yes,
one.
ma'am. And how to interpret them for the
Yes, ma'am.
reporting purpose?
Okay,
Yes,
this
ma'am.
is your
Because
beta
the
value.
main,
Beta
yeah.
value. Beta value, beta value.
Yes, ma'am. Beta value and
This is regression
exponential.
coefficient only.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
that is
one
regression
and
coefficient only.
exponential b value. Odd ratio.
Okay,
Odd
sure.
ratio.
Because, ma'am, the main intention, I don't know of others, but mine was, I want to implement all this in my research paper. So
Yeah,
it would be really helpful if you will, really run and give us the hands-on training.
sure. Fine. So we'll run the regression sheet tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
Okay, and tomorrow we also need to cover. Now 3 tests are pending. We have discriminant analysis, cluster, and then conjoint.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll cover it. Fine. So we'll close for today.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Shivangi, ma'am. Good night.
Thank you. Good night, sir.